Hi, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to Yaya's Reading Nook. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. Well, it's a new year and probably about 2 weeks into the new year, a week and a half. I haven't done anything really because work was busy. Then I had to have a heart cath the other day. So right now I'm just trying to get over that. It was a weird one. But I want to tell you about 12 books that I would like to read in this year, and they're all nonfiction. I'm trying to read more nonfiction, but it is what it is. So the first one's called The Girls in the Wild Fig Tree: How I Fought to Save Myself, My Sister, and Thousands of Girls Worldwide by Nisi Leganti. And this is about a girl who grew up in Nigeria, and her parents died, and her and her sister were sent to live with an uncle, and all he thought of was marrying them off. And he wanted to do what was like they do it in this thing in this community, female circumcisions, which is really gross. You can look it up. I'm not going to talk about that. But her and her sister hid up in a fig tree, and I'm assuming because it says fig tree. And her sister said, "Well, you know what? I'll do it. I'll get married, and it'll give you a chance to get away from here." And that's what she did. So this girl grew up, went to school, and was kind of like a human rights activist, I guess, for the women in this area of Kenya. I think it was in Kenya. And now this procedure is no longer, pretty much thanks to her. It's what the back said. I don't really know because I haven't read it yet. The next one that's I would like to read is called The Nazi Officer's Wife: How One Jewish Woman Survived the Holocaust by Judith Hahn Beer with Susan Dworkin. And this is about this woman who was put into the concentration camp, and she was discovered or found or caught the eye of a Nazi officer. And I'm just telling you what's on the back. And in order to survive, she just kind of like, he said he wanted to marry her, and she said, "No, I'm Jewish. You can't marry me." And he said, "Well, I can." So they got married, and the whole time he was trying to keep her identity hidden. She was having to keep her identity hidden. And when the Nazis fell, when the war was over and Soviet Union went in to get the people out of the concentration camps and stuff, her husband was actually put into a Soviet Union internment camp. But this is just how she decided to do what she needed to do to make it through the Holocaust. The next one is kind of like Mom's Being Stupid. This is a true crime. It was a arc that I got back last year, I think, and I've yet to read it. It's called The Mother Next Door: Medicine, Deception, and Munchausen's by Proxy by Andrea Dunlop and Mike Weber. And I'm assuming it's about, I think they looked, if I remember the back correctly, they looked at several different cases of women who had Munchausen's by proxy. And, you never know who it is. It could be your next door neighbor. It could be the person across the street. It could be your closest friend who's doing this. So I'm really not excited, but I really want to read this because I've always thought that was just it's so far-fetched that it's extremely interesting, if you get what I mean. Oh, and today's background is my wall because I'm trying out a ring light, and I'm also trying to do it on my phone, and we'll see what happens. This may not get put up either. The next true crime is My Friend Anna: The True Story of a Fake Heiress by Rachel Deloche Williamson. Is it Williams? Williams. And if you remember, about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a girl in New York who was arrested for not paying her bills at some of these luxury hotels. And her name was Anna. And she was a German heiress. Well, this is the story of her friend Rachel, who is actually, she kind of discovered her. I think when Anna came into her restaurant, or because she was a server, and she would do things like take her friends on trips and then go, my dad hasn't deposited the money. Can you pay for this? I'll pay you back. Um, did she ever do that? No. But this is about how this girl fooled a lot of people. It's true crime. Love it. Love it. I saw part of the Netflix documentary on that, and like she was being interviewed by someone, and she's pretty conniving. She still thinks she did nothing wrong. Now on to entertainment. First I want to do is Dave Grohl's The Storyteller. The only thing I know about Dave Grohl is he was the drummer for Nirvana, and I think he was one of the founding members of Three Doors Down. I think that's the band, but I really don't know anything about him. This has been out for a while. My friend Anne-Marie read it when it first came out and she loved it, but she loves Dave Grohl. Anyway, my second one is one I talked about previously, and it's Shirley Jones, a memoir by Shirley Jones and Wendy Lee. And it just tells Shirley Jones a story of, growing up and getting parts in movies, doing The Music Man in Oklahoma, which are two of my favorite movies, and Partridge Family, raising three boys. She was married to Jack Cassidy, so David Cassidy was her stepson. Plus, she had three sons with Jack Cassidy, Sean, Patrick, and Ryan. And then they divorced, and she married another man named Marty Ingalls. And it's just the stories of her life, how she was able to work and raise three kids. And yeah, I'm pretty anxious to see because she's one of my favorite actresses. Now, the next one is something I'm going to combine with two prompts in the 2026 52 Book Club Challenge. If you don't know about that, it is a challenge that the 52 Book Club does every year. And they have a book. I don't know where my book went to. I think it's on the shelf, so I'm not going to get up and get it. But I've talked about it before. And they have all these different prompts. They have 52 prompts. And one of the prompts is read a historical fiction about a famous person. And the other one is the next one is tie a nonfiction book into the fiction book. So I'm going to read The Gown by Jennifer Robeson. I think that's who it is. For the one prompt. And then this one is Lady in Waiting, My Extraordinary Life in the Shadow of the Queen by Anne Glenconner. And this is her Lady in Waiting. And so this is kind of tying in with Queen Elizabeth's gown, or the gown. And this will tie in together good, I hope. Now, who says nonfictions can't be about animals? I have another one somewhere. Don't know where it's at. It's called Dewey, and it's about a cat who basically learned himself into a library in this little small town and really helped him out. But this one is called Oliver, the true story of a stolen dog and the humans he brought together by Stephen Carino and Alex Thistlquist. I don't know how to say that name. But anybody, little Oliver got stolen and found his way back. I hope that's what it's to. Oh, there's pictures in here. I don't know if there's pictures of little Oliver, but we'll see. Oh, here's Oliver. See? So cute. Anyway, those are some of the books I want to read that are nonfiction for this coming year in 2026. If you've read any of them, what did you think about them? If you have any other recommendations, I'm a big true crime fan. I still want to read Out of the Woods by Greg Olson. It's about the little girl Shasta Gronin, who she and her brother were kidnapped after her parents were offed in their house, and the time that she spent with the kidnapper and how she was rescued and what it's like. I want to say it's been about 20 years since this happened, so how her life has been up until then. There's a couple more by Greg Olson I like to get to. One's called The Amish Wife, and the other one is called Abandoned Prayers, and I think they're about the same thing. The same person, like the same killer guy. But anyway, that's all I have for now. If you stuck around for this long and listened to my raspy voice, I'm sorry. It's Oklahoma or Tennessee can't decide if we want winter or summer. Right now we're in spring. So yeah. If you've read any of these books, like I said, let me know what you thought of them. Give me some recommendations. If you've stuck around this long, maybe give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.